Good morning. Hello, I just started. How's it going? Can I get some taps? Hello, tap, tap, tap. I'm Gay Santa. Somebody got something filtered and I was getting coffee. I'm a liberal elder queer. I'm from Washington. I want to talk about how dare you ban gender affirming care for kids. This healthcare, I'm going to wait a second before I start yapping. Good morning. Can I get some taps? I'd love some taps. What's terrible is I have a couple of accounts and I keep on getting into trouble, and I usually don't win the appeal. Hey, Michaela, I just started and I'm not getting much traction. I'd love some taps, please. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Hey, good morning, everyone. I'm Gay Santa. I'm a liberal elder queer. I want to talk about how dare you ban gender affirming care for kids. I say, how dare you, because it's none of your business. This idea that you're going to vote about medical science that you don't understand, that you don't like, and you're going to take away it from sick kids, from very, very few sick kids, because you care about those kids having a good outcome. It's all bullshit. I want to talk to people that believe that this should be a political issue. I want to talk to people that believe Trump should have talked about this in the State of the Union address. He literally spoke about criminalizing this healthcare. Everyone, please tap the screen. There's not many of us here. I want to have some good conversations. I got a guest request from someone named Gail O'Connor. Gail, I'm going to bring you up. When you join, will you please give me your age? And for everyone listening, there's no bullying or harassment or hate speech tolerated on my live. Thanks for joining, Gail. I'm letting you up now. Come on.
Hello? Coming in clear.
Hello?
All right. Looks like I'm coming in clear. 24.
I'm sorry. Your name. What did you say? 24 years old?
Yes.
Okay. Thanks for joining. Are you against this healthcare?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I guess my first question is, where do you think you can impose your will upon parents who oppose it? Like, where do you get that right?
I'm so confused. I'm not imposing my will on parents. Thanks for telling. I got my gifting goal, so I can't hear it for a second. No, that's. I don't think you. Do you understand? I'm saying that that's what y'all are doing. You're saying this is not real healthcare, even though medical science says it very much is. You're saying these parents aren't taking care of their sick kids right. I'm not saying any of that. I'm saying you get to raise your kids with your values. What you don't get to do is rein in on some few sick kids and say, no, that's not the medical care they should have. Let's make this into a political issue. That's what I'm saying.
So I guess my question to you then is, do you think it should be a law that if a kid wants gender affirming care, they should get that gender affirming care then?
No, God, no. That's not, no healthcare is like that. Did you know, Gail, that if you're Jehovah's Witness and your kid gets his appendix out and he needs a little bit of blood for a simple simple life-saving blood transfusion, because of a verse in the Bible, Jehovah's Witnesses let their kids pass away on the table. Right? That's how much control parents have over their kids' medical care. The kids getting this medical care are getting it because they're very sick and their parents are very successful. You have to be a very successful person to have health insurance to access a ton of psychiatric care for your kiddo. Most Americans can't get their kids' teeth cleaned. So yeah, there's not an epidemic of kids demanding this healthcare. That's not how healthcare works. People want to say, "Oh, I think kids could consent" or some bullshit, which is terrible. The reason is because in order to get this healthcare, both parents have to be on board with it. The team of doctors have to be on board with it, and the physical changes that they're hyper focusing on is when the kid is 15 or 16, and the kid has to say, "I'm okay with this care." The kid could back out at any time. That's how they're consenting. It's not like they're telling the parents what to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, I guess my question is, why are you making a whole live about it then if ultimately you don't even believe in the prescription that kids should be?
I actually
I wasn't done answering my question.
Well, I want to answer your question because it's a ridiculous question.
It's
Um,
not ridiculous.
no, it is. I want to answer your question before you steamroll. Don't have some emotional regulation, Gail. Don't get into a muting thing with me. You asked me why on earth am I making a big deal out of this? I'm just a single gay person in America. No kids, no family. I'm seeing shit happen to people, to queer people. Why are Republicans spending $215 million on TV ads targeting this care? Why is that a thing, Gail? I want to ask you.
That's a
I want
complete red herring.
no, it's not. You're saying
Yes, it
why
is.
are the
I asked you why you're trying to impose your will, and then he
I
goes, "I'm not trying to impose my will. Now let me."
you know what's so disgusting is you're here voluntarily on a queer TikTok saying, "Why am I trying to impose my will?" And then it's a red herring. Republicans hyper focused on misunderstood healthcare. So hateful people like you who feel a whole lot about trans people can come up here and try to insinuate disgusting things. What's going on is that you're sexualizing transness. It's on your computer, it's on your phone, it's on your brain, right? And you're trying to like impose that on other people. It's weird. It's how dare you get on your phone and share your opinion? That's Republicans for you guys. How dare you? How dare you say that people should worry about their own kids on your phone? You're trying
Hello,
to.
sir.
Hi, good morning. Is your name Woods?
Yeah, that's my last name.
Hey, can I get your age?
24.
Oh, I think the last guy was 24 too. I hope you do
He
better than
was.
him. Okay.
Um, I see where you're coming from with it, but I don't think children should have a choice on what they prefer. A lot of choices that children prefer, like if I had a choice when I was a kid to do whatever I wanted, whether it be gender affirming care or to go live with my father, like it's just you don't have the judgment for that. If I would have lived with my father, it would have turned out to be a no good drug addict. I had the
Well, yeah.
judgment of my parents. Now, when I turned
No,
18, I had that option to make the choices that I wanted to
well, no.
because that
I want to address. I want to address what you're saying. So, is it okay if the parents let their kids choose their clothes
to an extent.
to an extent? Okay. Is it okay if the parents let their kids choose their pronouns?
To an extent, yes. It just depends on the parent's belief system.
Well, here's the thing. No child is saying, I want to be trans, and they're getting it, okay? The access to this care, you have to sit in front of a psychiatrist for a year at least and be diagnosed with clinical distress. And the care is going to be when the kid is 15 or 16 years old. And the reason it has to happen when they're a minor is what's the end point of this healthcare is you want your kid who's trans that's going to live their life as a woman. You want her to have a female puberty. You want her to have a puberty that aligns with her identity. It's going to save her a ton of mental distress. When she's 18, she's not going to have to pay to have all this corrected and not be able to correct all of it. So that's the point of the healthcare was. Here's the thing. I don't care how you raise your kids. You could have long, hard conversations with your kids. You could tell them who to be. You could tell them what clothes they have and stuff. You don't. This is America. You don't get to say, to an extent, they could pick their pronouns. To an extent, they could pick what clothes they wear, right? So un-American.
I'm a Christian and an American, so my belief system's a little different, but I don't judge people on what they want to do. It's whatever you want to do. It doesn't affect my life. But to an extent, I don't think children should be involved in this until they are at the age where they can do their own research.
Okay, I want to tell you something about Christianity. This is how much parental control you have over your kid. Did you hear me say this already?
No,
If
I
you
joined a little later. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, you're fine. If you're a Jehovah's Witness,
No,
and
I'm not a
no, I know,
Jehovah's
this,
believer.
no. I know. I didn't suspect you would be. If you're a Jehovah's Witness, put your listening ears on. There's a verse in the Bible that says if you ingest blood, you don't meet God. That's a big deal to them. They think blood transfusion is ingesting blood. So if your 10-year-old son needs an appendectomy and he needs a little bit of blood to save his life, they get to let their kid pass away on the table because that's how much control you have over your kid's medical care. You know what? If it was up to me, no church until you're 25. I would say like, hey, you're teaching infants to believe in magical powers and fairy tales and places where people burn forever, and it's messing them up, and they're losing their critical thinking skills. I want you to know if you care about little kids making adult decisions, please focus on banning child marriage in
No,
America.
I completely agree with that, and
Well,
same
no,
with
but let's listen.
polygamous communities.
This is a straight thing. All of these are heterosexual marriages. All of these are men like me that marry little girls. 5, 10-year-old little girls were married legally in this country.
Yeah, I
This
say
isn't the
something.
cults. This isn't the cults. The
Um,
fundamentalists. These are legal marriages, right? Even these 17-year-old girls, they don't have any legal rights yet. There's no reason they can't wait till they're 18. It's Republicans that fight tooth and nail to keep this intact. It's the red states where they're marrying little girls. They're afraid girls will get an abortion if they can't marry those full-grown men, right?
so
They
a lot
believe
of
it's their
these
parents. They believe it's the
ages,
parents' right They believe it's a parent's right. Well, I'm not trying to pivot or change the conversation. I'm trying to say you're hyper focusing. You're trying to impose your Christian values on some family you don't understand or
I
like.
don't impose any of my values on anybody. You
Well,
believe what you want to believe. That's who I am.
why
I
why are
believe
why is it turned into a political event? Why are they voting to take this health care away when they're not doctors, when they're not their sick kids? Every major medical institution believes it's health care, and now it's been demonized. People had to flee states last year just so their kid wouldn't get all messed up by getting half of the health care. You know what I mean? Like, is it okay to give a kid therapy, gender affirming therapy?
yes.
Okay, well, it's not in certain states now. So
Any
if
type of therapy should be good for anybody.
well, the thing is, well, that's your opinion. There's a lot of people here that think the psychiatrists are pushing it on the kids. That they think that it's all the doctors and psychiatrists and parents. They all want to hurt these children, and because for nefarious reasons. So yeah, if you have a kiddo in Texas who's about to go through puberty and they are not functioning, they're having an identity crisis. They are having a disconnect with their body. They're not looking in the mirror. They're not doing their homework. They're yelling and screaming. Sorry, you can't take them to the psychiatrist to talk about their relationship to their sex. That's your gender identity, is your relationship you have to your sex, right? You can't talk about not feeling a certain way because they're afraid to lose their license if they even mention any sort of gender affirming care. So I want you to know that this is not about helping sick kids. This is about getting votes because people hate trans people. This is un-American. This is about legislating people's values, and that's not what America's about. You get to be ultra religious. I don't care. You could teach your
I'm
kids.
not ultra religious. I only have my beliefs and I don't impose. I'm not a Bible thumper where I say if you don't believe in Jesus, then you're going to hell. That is your own personal opinion. My opinion may be wrong. I will find out when I die. And if it's so be it. If I find Jesus there, he's there. If he's not there, then he's not. I'm very understanding and I'm very open-minded. So I'm not judging or any of that. I just like you said, it's very political. A lot of people do hate trans people. But there are some areas with the trans community I do believe that, with my personal opinion, I think trans women should have their own Olympic thing, like their own sports, instead of going against actual biological women.
I want to tell you, I don't want to go down. I don't want to go down any sort of sports conversation because even though I understand, and I don't care about sports, I understand that the rules are set by sports scientists, doctors, and they study the physiology, and they're the ones that want to make sports fair. I wish trans women were in sports because there are very few trans women that got any little bit of success, and very, very few. I'm thinking of one or two. They were so hatred and demonized, and all this transphobia is like, oh, these shitty men in sports want to turn themselves into women to kick women's ass. That's not a true narrative. Let me ask you this question. If you had a son, have you heard of gynecomastia?
Yeah, I've taken TRT, I've taken steroids. I was prone to getting gynecomastia. It's a large amount of estrogen that builds up into your body that produces lactate.
It's very much a common natural thing that happens in males, and sometimes it can be extreme, right? So you got on hormone therapy, so you wouldn't get
You get bigger for working out, yeah.
Well, no. Well, here's the thing, though. The healthcare that's being banned is not surgical. The minors are not supposed to have surgeries. They do, however, give surgeries to guys with gynecomastia that have extreme gynecomastia. Well, why is it okay if those breasts are healthy and that was a healthy puberty? There's nothing inherently wrong with a guy having boobs, a nice rack, right? The only thing wrong with that it would be a conflict between his identity and his biology. His puberty didn't go right. And no guy wants to have boobs, right? So you're okay with those 12, 13, 14-year-old boys being put under in anesthesia and having a double mastectomy. That's okay for them. But let's get rid of this health care for these kids with clinical distress.
So to get gynecomastia, your testosterone levels have to be abnormally high. So when your testosterone levels go extremely high, your body goes into oh shit mode. I need to produce more estrogen. So your body starts producing more estrogen. That's what develops your breasts. A lot of people at young ages, like teens, like you said, their hormones. Some people's hormones are fucking insane naturally with their testosterone. So yes.
I'm telling you, the thing is, guys from my generation didn't get double mastectomies. They got to get humiliated. They got to get humiliated, and people would say the devil's doing it to them and stuff, right?
Can I ask when that time was? Because I'm not researching that.
The thing is, if there's no like tumors or cancer or something, it's just a cosmetic procedure to affirm the kid's gender. This is Big Shirley. He's a cisgender guy. He had gynecomastia, right?
I know who he is.
Yeah, he was assigned male birth.
Too.
Yeah, and guess what? Every time he goes shirtless at the beach, because of transphobia and this bullshit, people are going to be like, "Oh my god, that's a trans guy. That guy doesn't have a penis. He's a guy." You know what I'm saying? So it's so funny that
Those
you had to
people
get
are
on.
ignorant. They can't live
Well,
their
you know
own
what?
lives, and they're gonna impose their.
The people that feel like you are ignorant, you literally had to get on HRT. This healthcare might take away that HRT for people like you.
I
'Cause
didn't
that's
get on HRT. I bought it from a street
oh,
dude that made the testosterone in his
oh.
basement.
And that okay, well, that's terrible. I hey, you know what? I cycled in the '90s, right? So, anyways, yeah, that's not the conversation we're having. I have
Yeah.
to go to the next conversation. I think you're a great guy. You didn't crash out. You didn't call me nasty things. I want
Yeah,
you to
no.
know that there's a lot more important things to care about, and I hope you have.
May I say something before you go? It's nothing
Yeah.
about the topic. I respect you for being very honest and nice, and you're very educated in your area. I respect your opinion, and I wish no ill will on you. I hope everything's good in your life.
Likewise, I was about to tell you, I wish you the very best. Like when I was growing up, I wanted more religion in my life, right? And I've always admired because some of the best people are religious, but to me, being a gay person, and nobody set me down specifically to teach me this. I thought gay people were depraved and they burned forever. And by the time I was going through puberty, I'd already figured out that that was bullshit. But the indoctrination was too late. Like it was, I have religious trauma and I only had a taste of religion. But I don't wish any ill will on anybody. So thank you for having the convo, guys. Oh my goodness, I had guest requests and they all disappeared. They all lost. Like they're like, oh, I'm going to get a chance to talk to them. Let's dip out. Let's dip out for a second. Hey, I got some notifications I want to play with on my phone. Give me a follow. I'll be around later. I hope you have a great day.